Stop scrolling. You are gonna want this ribbon technique for your Christmas tree. Here's how I do it. This bow, once I make it, it has 3 gold tails and 2 of the navy and the gold. So I don't make any cuts off the roll. I've got them on the roll and I just set them down. I stack the smaller one on top of the larger one. This navy right here is 4 inches. This is 2 inches. So I stack it, and then I make a loop. Then I pinch it, just like that. Now, you twist so that the gold stays on top and your Dupioni stays right side out. And I'm holding this with my thumb pinched, and then you make another loop. And I just use my fingers to hold that loop. So now, twist again to keep my gold on top and right side, and make another loop. A little bigger than the first loop. And then pinch. And you don't have to hold it separately with your fingers. It's just one big, see, one big wad of fabric, but you're holding it all like that. Now this is where it gets a little confusing. I'm gonna switch sides. I'm gonna go over here so you can see what I'm talking about. Nothing's changed, but instead of bringing both ribbons over and making another loop, I'm dropping the gold. I'm just gonna let it hang, and I'm gonna make a loop with just the navy, no gold. So I have 3 loops with the gold ribbon, 1 loop plain. Now I've got all of this wide. Now it's time for the tails. So just using the gold ribbon, because I need 3 tails, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a longer loop, because this is a tail, bring it up, grab it, and then let the bottom drape. And then I'm going to cut right here. Now I'm gonna have to switch hands because I'm such left-handed dominant. I can't cut with my right hand, and these scissors suck. I don't think I can. Let me see. No. So I'm just gonna switch hands. And cut. So these gold are eventually gonna be 3 tails. Now we're gonna just leave that alone, and you're gonna bring your navy up, and you're gonna make a longer loop, and you're gonna grab it with your hand, put it in there with all that other ribbon. You've got this long loop, and that's also gonna be a tail. So you've got all your ribbon. So I don't let it hang down like the gold. I trim up here because I'm trying to save as much of this ribbon as possible to let it go further. And I'm gonna cut. I've got to secure it. So that's when you take your zip tie and you just run it through the whole center of all of that and secure it. And it looks like a giant mess of nothing, but just get it as tight as possible. Trim that and throw it away. Now, you have, let me back up. Just like I said, you have 3 loops with the gold on top, 1 loop by itself, and then you have this big loop and this gold loop and this one little doodah. So to make a tail, what I do is I stack the 2 edges of the ribbon on top of one another. So I have it like this, and then I fold the open edges towards each other. So I have that. It looks like that. And this is just easier for me if I'm making a bunch of bows. I'm saving a bunch of steps. So right here is the closed edge. You're not cutting there. You're cutting here. And on the diagonal, I'm just cutting up. And now I have 2 dovetailed tails on this ribbon, on this bow. Then for my 3rd tail, it's fine, it's a tail, but it's not pretty on the end. So I just fold the open edges over on themselves, like that, and trim on the diagonal. So now I have my 3 gold tails, and I still have this navy loop, which is going to be a tail. So you just do the same thing. Fold the ribbon on itself, take this open edge to the other open edge, and you're going to start at the bottom and cut a diagonal. So you start right there and go up, and that will make your dovetail. But because I'm left-handed, I got to flip it over so I can cut it with my left hand. So it's the same thing, just for the lefties. And you just cut on the diagonal. And these scissors are dull. And you have a dovetail with 2 more tails. So now, to fluff your bow. So what you do is you just start separating it. Then you take a little piece of wire, you wrap it around the center, and that's how you're going to attach this to the tree. I just give it a twist, and then I open it up and I put it on the branch. So once I get it on there, then I add my picks.